Welcome to this very late Guhong Pro review. So I've been actually wanting to do this review for quite a while now. I actually got this cube back in November, but I haven't really had the time to do the review until now because I think the RStream V5 kind of overshadowed this cube for me. So yeah, I think I want to talk about it because I think there are some things that this cube has that are really good. So I want to kind of talk about it. I'm not really going to do much of an in-depth review as I would normally because I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of reviews of this cube that already go in-depth onto many of the things of this cube. So I kind of just want to talk about what I think of it. So let's get started. Out of the box, it was pretty fast and uncontrollable, and it also really lubey out of the box. Like, there's a lot of lube on the surface for some reason. I have no idea why Dayan decides to like really overlube the cube to the point where a lot of it gets onto the surface of the cube and like not much on the inside, but Dayan is Dayan. So I ended up having to wipe it down, and even when I wiped it down for some reason, like the lube would still seep out every time I would do a turn. So I ended up cleaning it out once and setting it up again, but the same thing still happened. But then I did it again several weeks ago, and it actually worked out pretty well and not much lube seeping out of the cube anymore, and it actually worked a lot better. So the next thing I want to talk about is the customization system. I kind of wish it actually had more customizability. The customization system is pretty limited. It is hand adjustable and you have 5 settings each, but you're really only able to adjust the screw distance rather than the spring compression. And I think it's just kind of a problem for me because I feel like because of how fast this cube is, I wanted to adjust the settings so it would slow down a little bit, but because this does only adjust the screw distance, it also does affect the corner cutting, and I actually catch more on this setting rather than just on the out of the box setting. So I kind of wish it did allow you to adjust the spring compression rather than the screw distance, but I mean, it's still hand adjustable and you don't need any tools for it. You don't need a screwdriver, and you can have even tensions. So still pretty good, but I do wish you were able to adjust the spring compression. So next, for the feel, it's really smooth, and I don't think there's an exact word that I'm going to describe for it because yeah, I kind of hate using the word buttery to describe like the way a cube feels. So let's just say it's really smooth. It's more or less you're turning a cloud or something. And for the sound, it kind of has a really plasticky, cheap kind of sound. I mean, the cube itself feels really premium, the outside feels premium, but when you do some turns, it kind of does sound like a pretty cheap cube, maybe like a $2 or $3 cube, but I think sound doesn't really matter much. I do hear some people saying that it kind of sounds really quiet. I guess it's a little bit quieter than like most other cubes like the Worm V9 or the Volk, which both cubes are really loud, but I don't think it's as quiet as the Tangyun. And now for what I really think about the cube and the performance of it. I think it's actually really good. Something about using this cube actually hits different than actually using like the YoCube V2, my Worm V9, and various other cubes that I have here. I think the feel is like really smooth, and coupled upon like how I set it up to be fast and also controllable as well, I get really good times on it. And because of its really smooth feeling and also the fact that it also lacks adjustable magnets, I guess for the price like this, aside from the downside of like you not being able to adjust the magnet strength, I kind of actually like the weaker magnets on this cube. It also does have a ball core, and that adds a lot of stability to this cube as well, but you are trading the fact that you can't adjust the magnets for a really smoother cube. And I guess that's probably a good thing to have when you have a cube like this. Like, the more simple it is, probably better, I guess. But yeah, I've been getting really good times on it. I'm pretty sure I got a sub 10 solve. Not on camera though. Otherwise, I don't really see any glaring problems with this cube. I haven't really had breakage issues except for one time where one of the magnets fell out and like it was like clicking a bit, but whatever reason it just shut itself up and it's not making that clicking noise. Somehow the magnet strength has not been affected by that. So I don't know. I think just something about this cube is it just hits different. Like when I finally set it up to where the lube wouldn't seep out anymore and where it's actually really controllable, but still really fast at the same time. It was so much more enjoyable to use, and I think with the feel of it, it just has that feel that you normally wouldn't get with other cubes, especially like with cubes that have more features than than even like this cube. I guess the more simpler, it can actually be better in some cases. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.